So Shannon, I'm going to have you come up here, and we're going to kind of walk you through it. We're going to pretend like you are going to do one of your generic items. Did you have generic items that you did?
I did. I did guiding and education, but I can do some.
Okay, so those are services.
Oh, I didn't do any items in my shop, but I can. That's what you said.
Okay, why don't we have you create a generic item? We'll have you do a basic live PO to get it in there. Go ahead and put it under your wilderness. What was it?
Wild wandering.
Wild wandering. So let's create a generic item. What's a generic item?
Water bottles.
Water bottle. And
Yeah,
we'll just make it really simple. 12-ounce water bottle, okay? And say you get them from tons of different places, and it's all basically the exact same thing.
Okay.
That type
And
of
have your name on them, so it depends on who's giving you the best deal.
Okay.
Which one.
Anyway, we'll do a generic item. We'll create a basic live PO first.
Picky.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to start outsourcing this thing, so we're pulling it in to kind of
From other vendors.
Okay.
Okay, then are we going to talk about what happens if they come in at different costs?
Perfect. Why don't we do this? Shannon, why don't you pull up Microsoft Word for a minute? Go ahead and kill all that, and let's plan it out. Because I think that we will actually get a better result if we plan this thing out. So first off, we don't have an item, okay? So we need to somehow get the item in there. Okay, what's next? What else do we know? We know that we're also going to get the same item from multiple vendors, but we don't want to have multiple. We don't want to have multiple parts.
In the same bin.
We want one thing called water bottles 12-ounce. Okay, and literally, like, you have to almost think of a generic. So like, we don't care if this one has this or this. Maybe we're getting it and it has all these different designs, but we don't want all these different designs. It costs us $5 a piece for these water bottles. Some are blue, some are red, some are this, some are that. We don't even care. We basically say, I need 100 water bottles, okay? And they might have different designs or this or that, but it's all the $5 price water bottle. It's a 12-ounce water bottle, okay? It's generic, but we're going to be getting it from all sorts of different places. This is kind of the scenario.
What else did you want me to put on here?
No. That's great. So what this is doing is just kind of saying, where are we at? What do we need to do? Okay, so what we want to do is the generic item is going to be put under, was it Wilderness Wanderers? I'm sorry.
Wild Wanderers.
Wild Wanderers. Okay, so that's going to be our vendor, okay? This is basically generic, so we're going to kind of keep it internal. Okay, what is our category? This is probably like under an accessory, I would imagine, okay? So we probably need a new little piece called an accessory for a category. This is called a part category. Perfect. Love how you tabbed in. That's perfect.
She's good, isn't she?
She is good. This young lady is
You guys are good.
Okay, and then that's where you would do your item. Awesome. And we might end up having bunches of different ones under accessories. But right now, we're going to try to do a 12-ounce water bottle. Okay?
So you could just bring the stuff from the bottom, put it up underneath.
Correct. She's just kind of trying to get some of the stuff. It's just the font size and stuff. It's hard to make everything fit
Yeah.
there.
You're doing beautifully with people watching you type.
Yeah. This young lady is a master.
I see you fixed the equal sign to that.
Oh.
No. Don't
you already
got
I
it.
was like, I meant that too.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do let's create, who are we going to get these vendors? We want this product, the 12-ounce water bottle, under Wild Wandering. Who else do we get it for? Let's put,
From, how about Costco
okay,
and Walmart?
okay.
Because we already have those. Do you want someone new?
If you want to, sure.
We have Smith as well.
Okay. And let's
How
just
about
do
Shopco.
Fred's Supplies.
Cisco Distributing?
Okay, great. Perfect, that's great. Okay, so we want to, first off, we need to create this item, okay? I can't really get it from Costco, Walmart, or Smith's or anything until I have that tube or that virtual can in there, okay? Awesome, I love it. Okay, is this enough information to kind of get us going where we need to go?
I think so.
Okay, just for fun, we're going to actually sell this for a straight 2-point markup. So it's going to, whatever the cost is, it's going to automatically, no, we're going to automatically sell it for $10 straight up. Okay? Just so we have that.
It's just your bin, it's in there.
Yep, it's just a bin. This is a bin of 12-ounce water bottles. And once again, you'd have to relate this to whatever subject you were talking about. But this is basically a generic item from multiple vendors. This
Right,
is the
because
scenario.
you might be bringing it in from multiple vendors at different prices. So if you do
Correct.
2.5 markup, then you'll run into issues, is that right?
Correct, yeah. Which I love it. I love how you're actually saying, oh, that's going to potentially make this, potentially make this. Guess what? That's called cause and effect. We love it. We love it. Awesome.
Mullet vendors. That's funny. Okay, are we ready?
We didn't even recognize. Yep.
All right.
So why don't you talk us through? I'm going to be quiet, and I'll just sit back for a sec.
So I decided that I was going to go to a new PO to create this item, first of all, and I'm putting under myself. So I'm searching for Wild Wandering, and I'm creating this PO as a special live, which I
Just
don't
go ahead and do a
have.
basic live
Basic
at
and
first.
flip it,
Basically what that does is it's vendor specific, so that's perfect. It's under Wild Wandering.
and then I'll just change it later.
No, eventually you'll need to end up getting a permission even to play in specials.
Okay.
So right now, we're assuming she's only going, she thinks she's only going to get them from Wild Wandering.
Okay, what she's doing is she's loading the system.
Setup.
She's like,
My
oh my
water
goodness,
bottle
I've got
setup.
a new generic item called 12-ounce water bottle. I need a generic item according to my vendor.
So right now I have 12-ounce water bottle setup. That's what I'm going to call it. And yes, I have them. And I'm going to add it now as a part. 12-ounce water bottle. And I want to track the inventory, and I'm going to put this in my gear shop. Is that fair enough? I guess I could make a category called water bottle.
Or probably water bottles or accessories or whatever you want to do.
Accessories, that's right.
But your
We're gonna
gear
do that.
shop
Yep,
is
gear shop is
actually
fine.
We'll take a
accessories.
side note.
Great.
Accessories. Add the category.
Now watch this. If you hit back,
Then refresh.
yep. Now you have to hit refresh right here, and then it'll reload that little category into the piece.
Yes.
You're going to have to fix
Now
your
I have
part number as well.
accessories. 12-ounce. Okay.
Now, the reason we have to do the refresh, anybody have a question on that?
It's a
Well,
browser problem.
it went into your database.
Okay, correct. But
But it's, I haven't,
this page had no clue about it.
didn't know I
Your browser
had.
is here, but it was up there now.
Correct. So we came back and we just said refresh, and what it did is it regenerated that page.
And I just have to remember, just like you told her to go out and do water bottles, I kept finding that I would forget that I had to fix the data above. So not a big deal, it's just a learning process.
Okay, so she was going really fast. Shannon, looks like you put in a good description. Okay, then you came down on your reference number. Why don't you go ahead and put just something right there for fun as well, like bottles or whatever you wanted to do, just in case you wanted to, hey, what do I have under my bottles?
Okay.
Because right now your stuff is under accessories.
Okay. So then we said it was $5, and we were going to sell them each for 10. They're taxable. Right now I don't have any because I'm just setting up a placeholder. Right? So then I'm going to add that. Yay! Now we have it on there. But now,
Okay, perfect. So the setup part is done. A tube exists, a can exists, where we can hold this thing. Now all of a sudden we want to start playing with multiple vendors. Getting
Well, and maybe that would happen in the natural flow, where all of a sudden I find somebody I can get the same exact same thing for $4.50 or $3. So then at that point I can go in and make these kind of edits and changes, right?
Okay, correct.
So,
So
don't you have to go back in and change your amount?
Well,
Is
it's
it
just a
sitting at 0,
placeholder.
isn't that going to give you
nope, we're doing
a sad
great.
face?
well, Wild Wandering isn't giving me any water bottles. I'm just going to sell them under that. So I'm
You're
just creating that.
You basically had to take a side route in order to create a placeholder for the generic part 12-ounce water bottle.
We're just holding a place.
Yeah, it's literally a placeholder on a shelf, okay? It's just kind of how it works.
It's like putting the can, you keep showing us that thing where we put the stuff in. I mean, we're just
Correct.
creating, but there's nothing in it at this point. We just prepped for it.
Correct. So this whole process, we did a quick little PO. It's 0. We don't owe anybody. We
But it's
created a new
setup
item.
PO. We're setting up the place.
I got it.
So now I need to go turn on some permissions.
We do, yeah. Go ahead and go to Brandon because you're actually in there. And now, hang on just a second. We're going to go to System Liabilities. Instead of scrolling down, just go to System Liabilities. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do Basic, Internal, Special, and if we're this serious, let's go ahead and do Admin as well, okay? Like, normally you wouldn't assign this just to anybody. This is like, hey, we're going to be playing in here. Pretty good. So go ahead and go down to the bottom. That's all we needed to do. Play. Now let's go ahead and go home.
The only permission you didn't have was the admin.
No, I didn't have admin. I didn't have special.
And he had shut off special.
I had shut off special previous for a different demo. Okay, so at this point, we need to do the first, flip back to your Word document. Let's see where we're headed. Okay, so the first one is from Costco, okay? So watch this. We're going to say new PO, Costco. This creates who it's payable to, okay? So just go ahead and say create new. That's okay. Sometimes it's kind of like, whoa.
It wasn't, I don't usually go that way. Okay, so Costco, create PO.
Correct. Okay, now why did we start from Costco? Why did we put the main vendor as Costco?
Because it was first on your list on your diagram.
Okay, because that was our plan. And 2, this main vendor, this is actually tied in the back end to the hip with a thing called accounts payable, your APs, okay? So if we say Costco, eventually I'm going to have to pay for these water bottles. I don't want to pay Wild Wandering because that doesn't make any sense. But the generic item is stored under them just
Well,
as
it
a
could have
placeholder.
been Walmart as much.
We'll do Walmart in just a minute.
I mean, it doesn't matter which one of those you chose,
Sure.
but for accounts payable, it had to be one of them.
Well, what you do is the
You
main
choose
vendor.
one.
The main vendor is actually going to be saying, hey, I am what's linked to my accounts payable as far as the naming of who I owe this to. Okay? It's the human side of whatever it is. Okay, go ahead and say add the PO. Now, hang on just a second. You're currently under a basic live PO. I'm looking right in the middle where it says PO type. CW basic live PO.
Oh, I thought
Okay.
you switched that.
No problem. Hit edit main. Now watch this. Switch that to special live. Okay? Click. Now all of a sudden, check it out. At the top, it's a little bit different. See how it says quick search add? Guess what it wants you to do? Who's the vendor and what's the part number? Instead of just a normal plain search, it's saying, hey, I need a little bit more information. So watch this. Instead of doing Costco, up there, flip your vendor to Wild. Wild Wandering. Now go 12. And say search. Oh, you mean this one? Yeah. And how many did we get?
Got 75.
Great. 35 added. Okay, scroll down a little bit. We have a main vendor of Costco, but look over here on your line items. Who's that vendor?
Wild Wandering.
Wild Wandering. Okay? So technically, this is very simple. Like it seems like it's just one item, but technically you would probably get a ton of things from Costco's, and depending on which ones were vendor specific or which ones were.
Now, I got stuck right there when she was looking Costco, maybe she went down to get Wild Wandering. I mean, it's tied to Wild Wandering, but in reality, I will never remember that.
Okay, you will because it'll be internal to your thing. If you're creating a generic inventory, most likely you will use yourself as the generic vendor, okay? Like once you get used to that, you're like, oh, like we actually got one that I
So
said.
you use yourself and, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so we used our,
Wandering, that makes sense.
Shanny, that particular search says, hey, you can't use all because it's like, whoa, I
Right.
want to be. a
I
little
was
bit
wondering
more-
if you could show me other things I had under Costco.
Watch this.
Could I just search like that?
Go parts homepage real quick.
Okay.
It says that link, and select there, say Costco, and then all. So under Costco, it
That's
has
all the hummus.
hummus and bananas or whatever, you know.
Okay. Got it.
So I forgot that Wild Wandering was her company.
That's her company,
So she
correct.
set up here,
Okay, another way, if you don't want to call it your company, you could technically create a vendor called All Items or something like that, or like generic items, and then nobody's ever going to see that. Like on the invoice, we never show the vendor, and so internally you could call it All Items, generic, whatever, rather than your company name. Okay, so Shani, I was looking away. I'm not sure where you're at. Can you show me where you're at?
No, I just was going back through to see where it was at.
Okay, so let's go PO homepage for a second. Just say we got lost. Okay, great. I see a frowny face, which means, hey, we've got a small disconnect going on. Let's go edit. Let's get back into that mode. Scroll down. Awesome. We've got Costco as a vendor. Wild Wandering is that. Now, the reason that it's a mismatch is because the edit main problem. Check math. 375. Boom. Okay, so at this point, I now have 75 of those water bottles, but I have a payable out to Costco's. Okay, eventually I'm going to owe Costco's for that item. But I have inventory now. I have 75 of those water bottles I can sell right now. That's awesome. What we're going to do, let's go to the PO homepage.
Okay.
And let's flip back to the Word document, see what our next little one was going to be. I think it was Walmart.
Yes.
Okay, Walmart. We're going to do the same thing. How many of these little 12-ounce water bottles are we buying from Walmart? Still, we're going to assume the same. I don't want to change too many variables. Let's assume that it's still $5. We might change it as we get further down the page. So let's go new PO. We need to create a new PO. This one's going to be tied to Walmart. Perfect.
Create the PO. We'll switch it right now. Special live. And yes, we have them. Add the PO.
So by default, it thinks it wants to search Walmart as the vendor, but we're like, no, actually not.
I want washer nozzles.
So there's your Wild Wandering bottles. Say yes, awesome.
And
So did it come up and say Walmart in there?
It
did.
will at the
Do you want me to
tippy
go
top.
back?
it will.
Okay, so I added 60, and it says right here that I'm paying Walmart. That's my payable vendor info. But it goes in that same water bottle bin.
Okay, so just for fun, and I just want to take a little side note. Click on 12-ounce water bottle. We're going to drill down into the pot. Now click on usage. Okay, sorry. You go to usage there. Perfect. Now scroll way down to the bottom. Okay, look what we have. Oh, we got a whole bunch in from here. We got a whole bunch in from here. But yet it's technically just stacking it all under that one generic item.
Right there we got 75 from Costco, 60 from Walmart.
And see how it says cost, hidden, hidden, hidden?
Yeah.
Let's actually go enable that really quick, okay? Go back to the top. We're going to go home.
Because that's the part you talk about, depending on who's using it, they don't need to know that.
Correct. So we're going to go users. You're going to click on my name again. And this one right here is under system assets because this is basically dealing with like invoicing. Scroll down. We're going to look for a silver permission. It says something about hide costs. Right there. Unclick that guy. Okay, so that would technically be like a negative permission where we're technically hiding something if you have that one selected.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it for now. Perfect. Now let's do this. Why don't you hit your back button a couple times. We'll go right back to that same usage page. Keep coming back. Okay, now hit refresh on your browser. Okay, now scroll down to the bottom. Okay, so we've got all sorts of costs extended, what's going on. That was just hidden due to that little permission. Okay, perfect. So, back to your Word document, Shannon?
Question.
Yes, absolutely,
Can you go
Mark.
back, can you go back, whoops?
Yes.
Go back to where it showed all the different costs for Costco and Walmart, that page right there. Why is Wild Wandering still at 0 quantity?
That was our setup, people.
Go to that PO, go to
Right,
24.
but I mean, it doesn't show any, like, it doesn't show any inventory for you.
Mark, what we virtually did is we created a placeholder. Shannon, on the tabs at the top, click on the far left one.
The what?
The far left tab at the top says balance sheet photos. It's the tab at the top, browser tab.
Oh, sorry, up here?
Nope, green. Browser tab. Yep, you're almost there. Go left, 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 left.
Go left, Jim, we're gonna go left.
Got it.
Click.
Whoa, sorry.
Okay, and don't actually click into this because this is technically in a different corporation.
Right,
So
okay.
I just had it up for show, so don't click on anything.
No idea.
But okay, so Mark's question was why in the world does Wild Wanderers not have a zero quantity, but Costco's and all this other stuff has quantities? What's the answer? We know?
That
Well-
zero set the tube up. I mean,
Correct,
the
correct.
Wild Wandering
Is me.
Shannon's.
It's the
company.
That's me.
distribution company.
No,
No,
that's mine.
You're going to sell it.
Yeah, it's generic. It's
So
generic.
don't you have any quantity?
That was her set.
That I'm
deal.
Buying from Walmart and I'm buying from Costco, but I don't own any myself. I don't make them. So I'm buying them from other people. But I'm going to sell them just as a water bottle.
So you're an Amazon company.
Ah,
You sell other people's stuff.
yes.
But that's what we did with the bike thing when we did that selling.
Now, the bike thing, we owned the part. We bought the parts.
Right, the very first step before we bought it, before we did anything, was we set up placeholders.
Yeah, and sometimes that's confusing. Usually in real life, if you really get something, it's a real PO to a real vendor and you create it on, it's in line. If we're coming into the middle of something or seeing a demo, it's kind of, well, we need this in order to show you this. Like, it might be a little bit different flow, but in
We
normal life,
assumed on our bike company that we were mid-flow and that we had two bikes and
correct.
50
We had
stalls.
stuff in stock.
She's assuming, she set that placeholder up before she ever ordered any of it.
That was the first thing she said.
Yeah, so she was,
You could do it the other way, but you would end up doing some of that finding and replacing stuff. If you actually had 12-ounce water bottles from Costco and 12-ounce water bottles from this, but you ended up throwing them all in a bin, you're like, oh my goodness, it's created a problem. Then you would merge them back together. But we just said, hey, you know what, we already know we're going generic, let's go generic. So, awesome. So Shannon, go back to Word document, and you're going to do this next one, just Smiths, okay? Just for fun. Okay. So you're going to do a new PO, and I'll let you talk yourself all the way through it.
So I'm just going to use the link right up there to create a new purchase order. And I'm going to search for Smiths because I'm buying more water bottles. They're right there. So I'm going to create the PO from this link right next to Smith's name. And I want it to be a special live. It's already switched that way probably because my last one was more 12-ounce water bottles. And yes, I have items at the PO. So to search for it though, it's actually in my Wild Wandering is the part I'm searching for and buying. And they're right there, 12-ounce water bottles. So I'll add them to the PO and we got another 75 from Smith's. So down here I have 75 more water bottles, but I am paying Smith's for it.
Okay, so go to your PO homepage. We have a couple little disconnects. We'll have to just fix them.
Yeah, because I haven't changed the prices.
No problem.
So to edit these, I'll just go in, and the problem is that I didn't put a price in, so it tells me right there to check my map. So I just need to edit the main that I started with, and I just need to fix the price to $3.75.
And normally you'll know this if you physically have a paper copy in your hand of what your order is, or you just finished an order, you'll have some sort of documentation. We're just kind of taking some of these numbers.
And it's happy with me now, so I can check my other one, and I can edit that. And this one, I only have $300 worth of water bottles.
Okay, so the important piece here at the one spot, why don't you click on Payables homepage? There should be a link right there. Right? You were almost on it. Right there. It might say we don't have that permission. Okay, great. Well, guess what? Check this out. Costco, Walmart, it's starting to record all the different POs. Look at the PO column. It has all of those values. saying, hey, we owe Walmart $562. Can you go down to Walmart and click on 562? Okay, those are the different pieces that we technically owe Walmart. Okay. Awesome. I just wanted to show you briefly like where it's kind of cascading itself to.
And do you want me to do that last one?
Yeah. Actually, I'd like to see if I'm gonna kind of throw a little curveball at you here. Okay.
That's a new vendor. So.
This is fun. Watch this. Okay. I'll have you drive. I'll talk over your shoulder real quick. Okay.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go a new PO, and this time we're gonna do it right for Wild Wandering. Just for fun. Now, in order for me to tell you where I'm going, like I have it in my mind, like what I'm going to do, but guess what? What I'm going to do is this is basically a way to shortcut the system. So that particular vendor didn't even exist. If you want, we can even just, okay, I'm backing up, slow down, slow down. What I was going to do is there's a way that you can actually make it so that you can flip the vendor. So say you have tons and tons of generics. Instead of having to reselect that vendor every time when you're adding an item, you can technically trick the system. Okay? Let's do this really quick. Why don't you just do WILD, okay? Okay, say create PO and special live, no problem. Come all the way down, just kind of put some sort of notes in there. Just like, this is Brandon showing us a trick. Now you'll notice it's under Wild Wandering and not under the actual place. But here's what's kind of cool about it. Say, okay, check this out. All I have to do is put 12 now. Instead of actually selecting, okay, go ahead and add it as a basic. Throw in whatever, 10, whatever. Okay, hit add the item. Okay, now I can type my next generic item and I wouldn't even have to select that vendor. It saves me a step. So just for fun, do another one, do 12 again.
Do we have any other generic?
I don't know if we have any other, Wild Wandering has, just go ahead and put another 12 in there. It's fine. It's just the purpose is, say, add it as a basic line item. We're just pretending that we're doing multiple ones and it's saving us a step. Okay, now we're all done. Scroll down for a second. Pretend that those are two different items. They're technically not. But what happens is now the main vendor is wrong, but all of the sub-pieces are perfectly correct. So watch this. We're going to do an edit main and play with a little different piece. Hit edit main.
Just gonna change it.
Now check this out. There's a new little field up there. Vendor ID is this. There's a little link off to the side of that says change. Why don't you just hit change, type in WAL, and look at, instead of saying create new PO, look at how it says assign to PO on the left-hand side over by the name Walmart.
Yes.
Click that. So guess what we just did? We just did a little flip-flop on the other side of it. Okay, that can save you a step if you have tons of generics that you're entering.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is, why don't you scroll up just for a second? I just want you to show, look for the history link. It's right in the middle there. Just want to show you kind of what it says that happened. We created it. It was a special type. We added. Oh, and by the way, we flipped it. Like it's just kind of like, it's tracking all of that behind the scenes just so that if anybody wondered, it helps you. But that's like a little trick if you have to do tons of them. If we were just doing it simple, it was pretty easy to select Wild Wandering, 12-ounce bottle, go. But then every single item we'd have to go Wild Wandering, 15-ounce bottle, go. Wild Wandering, like it's an extra step to do it. So if you want to skip that step, you make the vendor to who the generic is, and at the end you just flip-flop it one time, and then all of a sudden it saves you some steps.
Well, and there are some organizations where they may have tons of generics, is what you're thinking.
Oh, correct. Like some of these companies, they run everything as a generic. And so what they'll do is often they will actually do it that other way. They'll say I'm Trinity Fasteners doing nuts and bolts. Every PO I create will be to Trinity Fasteners, and then I'll add all my little parts, and then at the very end I'll be like, oh, by the way, the real vendor is XYZ Steel. And then all of a sudden it just flips.
That's a pretty decent.
That's the payable.
So you built the PO under your organization.
Correct.
Like you copy it forward
That's good.
Yeah.
and then change the name at the end.
That's exactly what you're doing. Basically, instead of manipulating that whole thing, it's just a way to kind of shortcut that process. I just wanted to show that to you
Yeah,
instead
that's
of,
cool.
kind of creating the, whoa, what happened? This was actually this was at a different training. We did a similar type thing, and we had something, and some of the people actually, they complained, they're like, well, I actually have to, if I create a new vendor, I have to create a new item under it for it to show up in this list in order for me to pick. That's why we changed it to the ID number, where you could just change it and then associate it with any vendor, because you may not want that vendor to be under your physical parts item list. Okay, so there was some thought there. It's not just a random piece, but this is relatively new. I'd say probably within the last couple months that we've switched that process around. Okay, that was kind of long.
That was great. Are you taking back over?
Sure.
Great.